As I had already shared with you in the 5-step framework, the first step is to learn the basics. And here we are at the step 1. Hi, I am Darpan Saxena and let's get on with the video. There are 4 things in my agenda. The first one is, you need to know why do you even need to learn the basics? What are the reasons for that? Then from there, you need to know where does marketing begin? What is the starting point for you as a marketer to analyze a marketing problem? Then in part 3, we get on to some basics and start to learn about STP, segmentation, targeting and positioning. And finally, in the 4th step, probably the most interesting one of this video, I would be giving you a formula. A formula with which you can ace the exercise of doing positioning. So I would just quickly remind you of the framework we spoke about. The framework is basic and we're right now at the step number 1, which is learning the basics. From here, we will graduate to the subsequent steps and you would enjoy this entire journey. Now, the first question you would be having is that why do we even need to learn the basics? The answer lies in 3 A's. The A number 1 is approach. When you learn the basics, you understand that how to approach a marketing problem. What is the starting point? The second A is analysis. Once you learn the basics, you get all the tools, the artillery, the shastra to fight this war, to be able to solve the problem and to analyze it. So in the first step, you approach the problem and now you solve it. And the third A is articulation. If you are an MBA student, you would know that all around you there are a lot of jargons 24/7. There are jargons in different subjects all around you and you need to know these jargons in order to understand a marketing problem and then to analyze it, solve it and then to explain it. So these are the 3 reasons why you need to learn the basics. Now let's get on to a very interesting question. Where does the exercise of marketing begin? Does it begin at identifying the needs of the customer? Some would say that it begins at market research. And some of the others would say that no, first you need to create a product and only then you would go out and market the product. Now, if you're somebody who thinks that marketing starts off at identifying the needs of the customers, my question to you is that who are the customers? Have you yet identified them? Therefore, it could not be the starting point. If you're somebody who thinks that marketing starts at market research, my question to you is that which customers would you research? Where would you find them? Until and unless you know who the customers are, you would not be able to carry out the research. And finally, some of you who think that first you need to create a product, my question to you is that we learned in the first video that to be able to create a product, you need to identify a need and then basis that need you need to create a product so that that need is satisfied. So again, you need to identify who is the customer and what is the need which you are going after. So again, the question remains, where does marketing begin? And the answer is simple. Marketing begins at segmentation. For you as a marketer, the world is your canvas. There are over 8 billion people in the world and you can go out and sell to anybody. However, what you need to realize is that each human being is not the same as the other human being. Their needs, wants and pains are all different. Which means that first you need to identify which need are you going after and subsequently you would be creating a product for that need. Now when the needs of everyone is not the same, your first task is to find out those human beings whose needs are similar. Therefore, the first thing which you need to do is to split this entire audience into smaller groups which have similar kind of interests or similar needs or something which is same. You need to identify what is that criteria on which you would split the audience. This exercise of splitting the audience is, my dear friends, called segmentation. Now, there are various ways to split the audience. There are various criteria basis which you can do it. I would share a few of them. So one of the ways to segment the audience, which is also one of the good ways to do it, is on the basis of needs. If you can identify what are the needs of the various human beings and you can split them up as per those needs, you would have the complete clarity about what product you need to create. Another way to split the audience is on the basis of who they are, their age, their income, their status, and so on. It is called psychographic segmentation. And the third way is to do it on the basis of their geography, which means where exactly do they live. Are they in India, or they are in the US, or they are in Jaipur or somewhere else? These are the 3 or 4 ways in which you can segment the audience. If you were to ask me, the best way to segment the audience is to use a criteria which uses all of these. However, the priority should be given to the needs based segmentation, because from there you would have the complete clarity of what exactly your audience wants, and then your clarity would help you to create exact products. How about we understand this with the help of an example? Suppose you are a marketer at an FMCG firm and your objective is to do the positioning exercise or a marketing plan for a new shampoo which your company is about to launch. Therefore, your aim firstly is to segment the entire audience of those who are interested to buy shampoos. Now, when you start to segment the audience on the basis of needs, you can segment it like this. For example, there could be a segment which wants hair fall protection, there could be a segment which wants smoothness, and some who may want repair from the damage. However, we have these one set of needs, but there can also be another set of needs. For example, your audience might want to feel confident after they use your shampoo, or they might want to feel stylish after using the shampoo, or they might want to feel healthier and happier after using a shampoo. These are two different set of needs which are called functional needs and emotional needs. You as a marketer need to be focused on both these kind of needs, and you need to ensure that your product satisfy these two kinds of needs. However, now you would ask that how do you identify that which needs are more important and which needs you should go after? For that, one thing which we can use is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you can see in this hierarchy, all the needs have been split up in 5 stages. The needs which are at the starting of the pyramid, they are the most important ones. For example, food, air, so on. Whereas as you go up, you would see that the needs over there at the top, they are not so important for the survival. For example, having a Mercedes-Benz cars might not be so important for your survival. So that need is somewhere at the top. What you should know from here is that if you focus on the needs which are here, then your audience for that is going to be larger. Whereas if you go upwards in the hierarchy and you aim for the needs which are up there, your audience size would also start to be smaller. That is the basic idea which you need to have when you are seeing it from the angle of needs. So now that you have segmented your entire audience basis these criterias which I have explained to you, the next thing which you need to do is you need to identify which of those segments would you go after. Now, one of the misconceptions or a mistake which marketers have and do is that they go after a wider segment, or they go after for more than one segments, which means that with the same product you are trying to satisfy the different needs of different segments, which is something which you cannot do. You cannot be everything for everyone. Therefore, the next step in the STP exercise after segmentation is that you need to choose your target segment. So for the sake of this example, I am saying that for you, your segment which you would focus on is the ones who want hair fall protection, as well as they seek confidence and style from the shampoo. So it is only this audience from the entire set of audience which you had that you would be focusing on. But the story does not end there. Even for that small audience or that segment which you are after, even for that one, you would have a lot of competition. Which means that apart from your brand A, there would be other brands B, C, D, E, F, or even up till Z who would be after the same audience. So then the next question to you is that how would you differentiate your offerings so that you stand out from all the other brands? The answer to this question lies in the step 3 of STP, which is positioning. Now, if you ask me what is the meaning of positioning, I would say that it is as simple as that word is. It means that how is your brand positioned in the minds of your prospects, in the minds of your target audience. Which means when they have 5 brands in front of them, how do they evaluate it, and after that evaluation, what do they think about your brand? For the sake of this example, I will assume that your audience, when they think about those 5 brands, they evaluate them on the basis of 2 important features, which is what is the percentage of the chemicals used in that shampoo and how is the fragrance of that shampoo. Now, when this audience or when that prospect thinks about the remaining 4 brands, we can say that probably it could be somewhat like the ones which you can see. So, for example, for this human being, the brand D is a brand which is high on the chemicals. However, it is also very good in terms of the fragrance. However, for your audience, a brand C could be very well low on the chemicals in it. However, it could be very bad in the fragrance. Now, once you know how your target audience is evaluating all the brands, your job is to be able to find the gaps in this. Which means, how exactly would your product features be so that they fill a gap which your audience wants? So probably your brand A could be a shampoo which has identified a gap and is now here. Which means that it is a shampoo which is so unique that it is low on the chemicals in it and extremely high in the fragrance. Now, if you are able to create an offering like the one I've just explained, you would have identified a beautiful gap for yourself and your product would be there in the minds of the audience in this way. From there, you can say that your positioning statement is that brand A's, which is your brand's shampoo, is for those who seek hair fall protection, as well as the shampoo has great fragrance and is low on the chemicals. That would be your positioning statement, and that is how your brand and your shampoo will be identified. Now we can make a small change in the example and understand it again. How about instead of fragrance, now the shampoos are being evaluated on the lather which they produce. So now all the remaining brands could be stacked up like the way they are on your screen. And now again, your job is the same. You need to find a gap and create a product which fills that gap. So probably you could create a shampoo of your brand A which is moderate on the chemicals in it. However, it is very good in terms of the lather which it produces. And from here again, your positioning statement is going to be that brand A's shampoo is a shampoo for those who seek hair fall protection and is low on the chemicals but is great in terms of the lather it produces. So now you would have completely understood what STP is. However, I have one important thing to share with you, and this thing is a formula. This is a positioning formula with which you would be able to do this entire exercise, the final step of this exercise, with complete ease. What exactly is this formula? The formula is positioning is equal to target market plus differentiation. So it effectively means that firstly you need to identify how can you differentiate your product so that it stands out from the competitors. Now what you need to be focused on is that your differentiation should be important for the audience. For example, the audience would find that fragrance is an important point and therefore your brand it could stand out. However, for your audience, the size and the shape of the shampoo bottle, it might not be important. So you need to choose the differentiation which is important for your audience. Now, here is the important thing. If in this entire video you were to forget everything else and just remember one thing, I would urge you to remember this one thing, this formula. Because this formula will help you identify the strength and it will help you think about your product in a simpler way. So finally, we've understood what STP is. I would again give you a quick recap of where we are. We are currently at the stage 1 of the basic framework. We are understanding the basics of the subject, and in the subsequent videos I would be sharing more such basics which will help you solidify your step 1. From there we would go on to the step 2, step 3 and so on. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next video of this course. Thank you.